Welcome to Create with Amy 507. Hello friends, my name is Amy and thank you for joining me. Let's get crafting. This is a nice set of their oven dry clay. It's made by Arteza and they sent me these, and I am just going to make these into sprinkles because you will see what I'm going to make for these cute little cups I got for Christmas. So just pretty easy, rolling them into tubes, or into snakes I should say, cutting them down, making little balls, whatever you think for color and design for little sprinkles, anything works. And then you just bake them and they turned out great. Now look at those two cute little cups. Actually, they came in a set of 4 and I got them for Christmas from my daughter. And they're going to be so much fun to decorate. I've already bought a little hat for one of them. And today I just wanted to make a little confection. I guess what you could say, this has got some beautiful, yummy frosting or fluffy stuff on top of whatever's in that cup, but we're going to use spackling, and this is Feather Light spackling. I'm putting it in a disposable, it's a cake decorating bag, and you would normally put frosting in there, so we're pretending we've got some frosting here, and you just use that tip, and it's called a number 1M. It's an open star tip, and this one happens to be Wilton, and I think my daughter said it cost about $1, so it's not expensive. And now this will just be strictly used for these kind of projects, which I would love to do more of. So I just put a little dot on the tray, and then I put the ping pong ball down, which I think it came in a pack of 5, and I got that from Dollar Tree, and it was a little slippery. It wasn't staying on very good, and so what I'm doing here is I'm just patting it down to get it to stay, so then I can go over it and give it a nice swirly whirl of some of that spackling. And putting the ping pong ball on the inside makes it lighter, and so there's not such a full spot of the spackling, and it would dry faster. And it did dry overnight. When I picked it up, it was just a tiny bit wet. I just laid it on its side and it dried pretty fast after that. Now, I didn't do this with this first one, but I suggest that you stir the spackling up a little bit before putting it in there, because it was a little stiff, but it still turned out pretty good. By the time I did the second one, it was going a little easier. And now here I'm just putting on those little faux sprinkles that I had made out of clay. I've seen such cute little videos on making these, and I've always wanted to do this since I've seen it, and my daughter surprised me and bought me some spackling and everything to make these cute little things for my little marshmallow cup. Now you see, if you wiggle it a little bit, how it kind of gives a little bit of a different texture to it. And by this time I had plenty left of sprinkles, so I just threw them on there. And there they are. They're so cute. I just love them. DIY number 2. This is a Dollar Tree item. It is just a little house. They had like a set of 3, and I'm just going to take one of them and kind of strip it down to the bare wood. Now that home sign on there would not come off. My husband helped me by using his power tool to get it off. And then basically you're just going to apply the paper, this pretty pink gingham, and there's really no measuring. You just fold it over, make your crease, and trim it down. What I'm using to keep this tape to put the paper down is this really fun double-sided sticky tape. I like it so much I sell it on my Etsy shop. It's something that card makers and scrapbook makers like to use. It's super sticky, and obviously it's double-sided, and this little red piece, you just pull that off and it's nice and sticky, and that's what I'm going to use to put the paper down. So if you'd like to, you can check out my Etsy shop. It's Create with Amy 507. Now here is a pretty little doily that I have in my stash, as well as this love. And this was a fun one because it's red on one side, white on the other. It was a Stampin' Up! Product. It was last year, so they don't offer it anymore. But this is a good thing to have in your crafting arsenal, I should say. Have all these neat little things, so when you're ready to craft, you really do have some choices to choose from. And it needed just one more thing. You know, you can't have a little Valentine house without a bow. And so a black and white little gingham bow, here we come. And again, I just use that double sticky tape to keep it on there. And there it is, all done. This is a Valentine collaboration hosted by Heidi Sonboul. She's a very talented person and has a very generous heart. Check out her channel, Heidi Sonboul DIY, by clicking on the link in the description box, as well as the other participants in this Valentine collaboration. DIY number 3. We're going to make this fun sign. Now, I have had this stencil for quite a while. I will link where I bought it, and that'll be in the description box. I wanted to do something a little different, and I wanted to paint this wood piece and maybe highlight, I should say, some of the wording, and you'll see what I'm going to be doing. So this is the plaster chalk paint by Waverly. I'm going to be using that color, also the truffle color, and the ballet pink color. When I did put this one coating down, I did have to touch it up with the second one because it's kind of a light color. Now when you are painting something like this with your brush strokes, try and pull it towards the inside from the paint, from this tape toward the inside, so you're not pushing paint underneath that tape. Or yes, so you're not pushing paint underneath the tape. So I don't. Hopefully I made it understandable. Let this dry. Apply more tape, and then it is already brown, but I wanted it to be truffle brown. And so here I'll show you again on how I kind of started out pushing it the wrong way. See how I'm doing it that way? Pull it towards the inside, come down so you're not pushing it underneath the tape. And it didn't quite line up right, so I had to move the stencil around, but it's cut perfectly, it fits perfectly with the wood, and so it's pretty easy to keep it straight. And then these are just those little makeup brushes, not brushes, sponges that you can get from Dollar Tree. And again, here's that plaster color. And you want most of the paint off, and you're going to dab up and down. I know in the old, like in the 90s and even in the 80s when they were doing this stuff, they would swirl it with a stencil brush, and that does work, but you've got to have it really dry. When you're using these, just dab it up and down and have it mostly dry, and just keep going over it and over it. This is one of those stencils that was well worth the money. I paid for it because anytime I make a sign with this, it's loved. If I'm selling it, it gets bought up. And it is. It's just such a cute little sign. It'll go for anybody that likes chocolate. Stencils are just fun because you can play around with colors and do different things. I tend to always go with the chocolate brown with this sign, of course. But yeah, you can really play around with it and do different things. Chalk paint is fun too, I just want to mention, because it dries so fast. So by the time I would tear this off and go wash it, it was dry and I was ready to put the next thing down. Chocolate doesn't ask silly questions. Chocolate understands. DIY number 4. Okay, I got out my burlap because I love it and I wanted to make a pretty little inexpensive garland and a banner, I should say. And so I'm making my little flags and trying to get them just right. So I got my flags all cut out and I'm just putting stickers on. Now on burlap, they don't stick real good, but they weren't falling off either. But if you wanted to, you could add, a little glue in the back to keep them on better. I ran out of the S's, and so this is my way of making a little S that you'll never know the difference, that it's not just a sticker. Just take it out and use that, the outline of it, and put some black in there, and it looks just great. And then this is just a cute way of making an and, because I didn't really have anything, so I'm just making a little and for my hugs and kisses, and just putting it on some yarn. And then in between the flags, I just put it was actually Christmas ribbon that I got at Dollar Tree. It took hardly any time at all. It was very enjoyable to do this. Fun! Hugs and kisses. Here they all are. I want to thank you again, Heidi Sonboul. Thank you for hosting this collaboration. And thank you, my dear friends, for coming along and watching me. I truly appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you like this kind of video. I hope my video was inspiring for you. Take some time to do some Valentine crafting. Bye, friends.